Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gaming with me, Tony Mo, and we're here again inside of Star Citizen. And I actually wanted to have a little bit of discussion on the idea of role-playing. That's actually the footage you're seeing here. Was I decided that I would hop into my RSI Aurora and pretend that I was a deep space explorer in my tiny little Aurora who had gotten disconnected from his main vessel and was lost floating out amongst a dying star, and decided that he was going to search about for buried treasures or perhaps alien life. Ooh. Of course, I didn't find any of those things, but, you know, one can hope that in the future of Star Citizen, things like that will be possible. And it was quite a bit of fun just to fly around really slowly, take in the settings, almost crash into some asteroids, electrify my pilot, apparently, while attempting to fly through that pylon thing out in Dying Space, or Dying Star. Anyways, it was really funny, and you'll see it all in the video footage. But before we talk about role-playing, I wanted to talk about Praxus. Praxus, of course, being the gaming community that I helped start about half a year to a year back now. It's actually been quite some time. About 3-4 months ago, I took on a new job, as many of you are aware, that started eating up a lot more of my time than I thought it was going to, about 75 hours a week, actually. And my involvement in Praxus was pretty much down to nil, which was very sad for me, because I enjoyed my time in Praxus as someone who was in a leadership role, and also just as a member, you know, chatting with a lot of the guys that I'd become really great friends with, and spending a lot of time playing games with people in a manner that I never thought would have been something that I would be doing, you know, large-scale ARMA games and you know, cooperative flying and things like DCS, and just being able to discuss video games, which is something that I obviously enjoy very much, with such a large and diverse group of people in terms of opinion and thought process when it comes to games. It was something that I really truly enjoyed, so it was very sad when I had to sort of step back. However, in the time that I was gone, between this job and, you know, my return to sanity at a normal 40-hour-a-week job, you know, I've now been able to spend a lot more time in TeamSpeak, and I'm very happy to be back as a member of Praxus, you know, playing games with everybody and having a good time. And but in that time that I've been gone, Whiplash, our leader, as well as the other members of the leadership, Starwolf, Drevin, Hells, and Jericho, have really taken Praxis to new levels. I'm just so completely blown away and chuffed, for those of you in the UK, with what they've done. I come back and we have our forums are all set up, brand new, and we got a calendar with all these events on it now, and I'm seeing even more active games inside of TeamSpeak. We got people playing arcades, DCS, Space Engineers, all of the classics that we were playing. Elite Dangerous is in there now, and there's members playing them all the time. It's wonderful how many active and quality members we've actually picked up in the time that I've been gone, and it's just absolutely wonderful the direction that the community as a whole has continued to grow in. I'm just so impressed, and I felt like, you know, it was time to start talking about Praxis again, to make it a thing. You know, to be like, hey, you know, you guys should check this out, because we are, of course, we're looking for members. You know, we always are. We're looking for quality members. You know, we've never been that organization, whether it be on a Star Citizen level or on a gaming community level, that is looking for thousands and thousands of people. If Praxis gets to that point one day and we actually have thousands of quality members, that would be great. But our first priority has always been bringing on quality members. And so that's why I just wanted to make everyone who watches my channel, you know, there's quite a lot of you guys aware of what Praxis is, and, you know, inform you about it and see if it's something that you're interested in, because we're looking for great people all the time. The best way to find out, though, and to get a really nice taste of what Praxis is all about and the sort of fun that we have, is to go check out our most recent video on our community YouTube channel that was put together by Whiplash, you know, commentated and edited, demonstrating the sort of games that we're playing and just talking about the growth of Praxis over the past couple months and, you know, what Praxis is about. I think it's a great video to introduce new members, or possible new members, or those of you looking on the outside in, you know, to what Praxis is all about. So go ahead and hit that link in the description below if you want to pause the video, or if you just want to leave this video and go see what that's all about. I strongly recommend you do so. I mean, even after I watched it, it was like, got the adrenaline flowing, you know? It was like, man, I really need to get into DCS again. I really need to play this game again. And damn, I miss playing ARMA. It's all been so long for me, and I've missed it so much, and that video sort of was just a culmination of making me realize even more how much I missed it. I knew I missed it, but the video definitely, dare I say, touched me a little bit, because of, you know, I had spent a lot of time with these guys, and it was a sad thing to go away. But I think that's a testament to, you know, how much I enjoyed my time in Praxis, and how great of a community is. And I'm very happy, once again, to be back in the fray. But for those of you guys, you know, again, looking on the outside in, you know, are you that type of person? You're sitting there, you know, you're playing games like Arma, you're looking forward to Star Citizen, and you're saying to yourself, man, I really wish I had some people to play this game with. I wish I had people that, you know, every weekend I could just hop on and you know, have these friends who are, you know, ready to have some fun playing games. Because at the end of the day, that's what Praxus is about, getting together with some good people and just playing some games and having a damn good time doing it. That's what I've always said, and that continues to stand, you know, for what Praxus is, one of the core values of Praxus. So if you're over 18, you're interested in checking us out, I'll have those links in the description below. Go watch the video. I'm telling you, it's great. It's really well put together, and it is just the perfect example of what is going on in Praxus and what we're all about. And then if you like what you see there and you want to take into consideration joining, go ahead and click the other link. That'll take you over to the application page. You can read a little bit about what we'd like to hear from you in terms of your application. Put an application in. Let us know what you're all about. Go crazy on it. You know, we want to see people who, you know, who have a passion, you know, right from the beginning. They're not even in the group yet, but we can see it in their application. You know, they're willing to write more than 1 or 2 lines. They're willing to explain to us, you know, why they really want to be a part of a gaming community like Praxus. Head on over there, guys. I hope you'll consider it. At least I hope you'll check out Praxus and see what we're all about, because it's a really great place to be. Let's go ahead and finish off this video by talking a little bit about role-playing in Star Citizen. As I said, I decided I would fly out in my Aurora and just have a good time screwing about role-playing in space, because the biggest focus for games like Star Citizen, Elite Dangerous, even things like DayZ, you know, more of these recent player-driven experiences where the developers are really giving us all of these tools. They're saying, here is all of this stuff. And, you know, while I imagine Star Citizen Elite planning on having a little bit more structure, you know, we see that Elite has things like mission types. We know Star Citizen's going to have missions and bounties and things that you can do. But at the end of the day, the player is still very much free to make their own decisions. They can be who they want to be, and they can do what they want to do. And I think that, to me, Star Citizen and games like it are some of the first games that are really going to let people roleplay at an all-new level. And I know this isn't something that everyone is interested in, but for me, I just like to throw light elements of roleplaying into my gaming experience every once in a while. You know, it's sort of a metagaming thing for me. I'm not actually going out and telling other people, although I might do that in Star Citizen, you know, that I'm this awesome explorer, and, you know, I've got this massive crew, and we go out into space, and we've found riches you could never imagine, you know, and have a crazy voice. But, you know, maybe I might do that, actually. But it is fun to just metagame sometimes, and I've done that quite a bit, actually, with the very small, you know, playable bits that we have in Star Citizen. That's a prime example of what I'm doing right now. You're just getting out, taking it all in, and sometimes you can really enhance your enjoyment of something that is so menial and simple. Like free roam, you know, free flying in Star Citizen and Dying Star. Not really that interesting on its own, but if you start pretending you're an ace fighter pilot, you know, out in Praxus in an asteroid belt, you know, you're just out on Praxus, out on a practice run out in some asteroid belt, you know, shooting womp rats out of the stars or something like that, you know, just trying to fly as fast as you can through these asteroids, G-safe off, seeing just how far you can push it before you black out and explode and have to have your body respawn, you know, or like in my case, you know, just floating about, taking in the scenery, pretending that I'm lost somewhere out in the stars, just taking it all in, checking things like my fuel gauge just for fun, you know, it's not like it's actually going to run out, it's alpha, things like that don't even matter right now. And then of course my immersion gets broken because I fly into the border for the map, but you get the idea of what I'm saying. You know, it's taken for granted, I think, the ability as a human being, as a person who is playing the game, to be able to really create your own experience in your mind. You know, you don't have to tell other people about it. And there's ways you can enhance that. It's ways that people have been, you know, doing it for ages in pen and paper, you know, actually getting, you know, paper and pen together and graph paper and, you know, scouting out your own star map in something like Star Citizen or Elite, or, you know, actually keeping a flight book, a log book, you know, an actual physical logbook for every time you fly out of your hangar in Star Citizen. You know, I've thought of things like that because that's fun. You know, that takes it to a new level. We don't have to have it in the game. Like, would it be cool if Star Citizen had a logbook feature? But I think it's that combination sometimes of what is actually available to us in the game and our ability to do things outside of the game in the real world that can truly enhance an experience to an entirely new level. And for me, the idea of actually keeping a logbook with my cargo in it, writing my current cargo, writing its destination, writing its quantity, you know, I'm really interested in actually doing something like that. I've started doing that for Elite, actually. with some of my trade run stuff that I've been doing recently, and you guys will see that in the next video that I'm doing. And maybe I'll actually take a couple pictures of my logbook so you can see what I've done with it, because I've found it to be such an enjoyable thing. I've gotten like this, you know, this sense of euphoria off of the fact that I actually have a logbook for my starship and for my trading runs. It just puts the biggest grin on my face. It's so stupid, but it's so awesome at the same time. So that's the question I have to leave you guys with. Have you thought about things like that? And, you know, have you done things like that in the past? Or maybe now I've sparked the conversation, the thought in your brain of taking that, you know, that small little role-playing element, that metagame element, to a physical level or to a whole new level. And, you know, let me know what you think of it. Feel free, of course, to join in the discussion. Leave your comments in the section below. And also be sure to hit those clicks and go check out what Praxus is all about. I'll see you in the next one.